right. Listen here, you scallywags. I've been playing video games since before the toe rags who made those video games were born. Respect the opinions of your elders, because you young whippersnappers ain't got a bloody clue. So with that in mind, here's what you sorry little leet hacksaws are missing. Why do you hate Connor? Let me start off by saying this has nothing to do with Assassin's Creed 3 as a game in comparison to the others. In the time that the game has been out, most of the online hatred I've seen has been directed at its protagonist, Connor Kenway. Or, as you purist wankers call him, Raton Akachifa fucking RASEN SHURIKEN. Hereafter referred to as simply Connor. Connor has been compared to those that came before him. Altair, the man who questioned and disobeyed, the man who introduced you to the assassin order, Ezio, the man that lost his family in a tragic plot and by exacting his vengeance, freed those under the oppressive regime that killed his family. Woo fucking who? Who could hate that? Assassin's Creed 3 introduces you to Connor as a child. A happy child that lives in his village. A regular child, pre-21st century cell phones, who goes to play hide and seek with his friends. You play as Connor as the Templars raze his village to the ground. You even play as Connor as he's dragged away from the scorched hut that collapses upon and kills his mother. This introduction to Connor was enough for me to cement his, and ultimately my, desire for his vengeance. The fact that he's destined to save the land and kill the Templars is irrelevant. It's his desire to avenge the lives of those taken by these men that grabs you. Argument 1. Connor is too angry. What the bleeding heck is all this nonsense? This is an argument I've seen used several times, and not once have I understood it. Connor has as much reason as Ezio ever had for being angry. Ezio may have contained himself during conflict much better than Connor, but it doesn't take away from the shared validity of his tragic loss and warranted vengeance. Connor witnessed the death of close to everyone he had ever known as a child. I'm stressing this point for good reason. At the innocent stage of life, you're thinking about who can climb the highest tree or being better than your best friend at Mario Kart. You wouldn't give the slightest thought to what sort of adult you'd become if everyone you ever loved was murdered in a blurred haze of fire and blood. Argument 2. Connor is too dramatic. Alas, poor Yurik! As previously mentioned, Connor is the result of a horrific act of violence and murder. He joined the order to protect the people he had left. The fact that the men that burned his village were the same men he needed to kill was almost as irrelevant as his destiny. Connor being dramatic and angry at the drop of a hat is simply a result of his past. There is nobody that can deny him the right to be the way he is, given the things he had seen and lost. Argument 3. Connor doesn't suit the assassins. Seriously? Altair was a rebel that conformed, realised his master was the villain and killed him. Ezio was a flirty teen who sought vengeance for his family and poured that energy into liberating the worthless poor. Though he did build a lot of banks and bookshops in the process. Yay, capitalism! Connor was a man who had lost more than either of his gaming predecessors, fought to protect a surrogate tribe as well as making sure the American Revolution actually took place. Connor was integral to history as we know it. Despite it being fiction, you can't deny that he was the most important of the assassins to date. And I am a fucking Brit! He may have not had the calm and collected aspect that Altair and Ezio shared, nor the knowledge or skill that either of them developed, but he had a lifelong conviction beyond either of those two mugs. In closing, Connor is disliked for his attitude. Connor is disliked because he was angry and focused on his vengeance. Connor is disliked because he was out with his opinion while being a slave to those around him that swore they were helping him. Newsflash, you slags! Connor was a Native American! Connor was a young man in a new world! He wasn't sure of the ground he set foot on, let alone the motives of those around him. He was right to be angry, he was right to be dramatic, and he was damn right to seek revenge for his loss. To everyone that says Connor was the least credible assassin, I say that if I haven't changed your minds by now, then we might as well have bowed down to Hitler. If any of the assassins were worth their salt, then Connor had more reason than any of them. Plus, Tomahawk, bitch! Tomahawk! Fucking respect!